Considering you had a lot of quarterbacks in the roster, what attracted you to Phillip? And did you guys approach him, or when he was deciding to transfer, did he approach Virginia?
No. Phillip approached us first. Actually, I didn't know about the issue of his father's health until one of the reasons was made known as to why he wanted to transfer. And then of course with that, and there's an NCAA process that you have to go through that when you are applying for a waiver that has to be approved. And our people at compliance worked with people at Alabama and got the information that was needed. And then one of the doctors at the UVA hospital is one of the best in what Phillip's father's condition has. And I think as things started working out, Phillip played with Perry Jones and Tim Smith on our team, and just things worked. At the timing was right. We had a scholarship open. The opportunity for him to move back in an area back in Virginia presented itself, and things just worked out for us that way. So we weren't actively searching for him. Just one of those things that the opportunity presented itself, and it worked.
What did you know about him before, and what have you learned in the 2-3 months since he's come to school? What have you learned about him?
Well, I knew, I've known him in his high school career. In 2008, his high school, Oscar Smith won the state championship, and Perry Jones and Tim Smith played on his team. I was at Richmond, and we won the national championship at that time, and there were a couple, Norfolk Sports Touchdown Club, a couple banquet circuits that we were on that I'd seen him and just congratulated him on his career, knowing that he was going to Alabama, that would be it. But then everyone has seen the spring games, that were televised and playing and leading his team back to victory. So, those are the things that I remember about seeing him high school and some of the shots being a college quarterback. But again, when he got to us in the summer part, early summer, he was taking summer school courses. The waiver was in process. No one didn't see him throw or anything like that, and now the opportunity will present itself to evaluate him fully on the field, come August 6th.
You look at Rocco from game 1 to game 13 last year. What impressed you the most about just his development and where he is heading into the season now?
I think the confidence level, the confidence to be able to run the offense and do what was asked for him. We went back and forth there a little bit, with he and David, and then made the move to that Miami game to start him and be the guy. And he played a very good game that game. But along with the confidence, there comes kind of a leadership thing that you want your quarterback to have when he steps in the huddle. And he's developed that. He's learned that. He's earned that. And as I said, you could have had a guy with another quarterback coming in worried about what's going to happen to me. He opened his arm, he embraced it. Phillip's part of the team, and then let the competition begin. So when you're coming as a young quarterback, you're thinking about you. Michael's to the point of his career, I think, in his development, that he's not just thinking about him, he's thinking about the team, and understands the competition, whether it's quarterback, left tackle, right end, corner position, it's going to make the team better.
Like a lot of your pass rush came from Cam Johnson last year, and he's gone. You expect to find some kind of role for Eli Harold this year? Do you need to find some role for him?
I would like to. I would like to, because I think it addressed the secondary situation, that if you have a better pass rush, it makes your corners and safeties much better. And Eli coming from high school and now at our place, going to summer school, and getting him on the field now to help us contribute to that pass rush or his athleticism, I think can not just only help us.
Is Leroy a guy who you might get more in that area from? I mean, he showed in the Miami game late the kind of athletic ability he has off the edge.
I think so. I mean, when we first started, Leroy was coming from safety to linebacker. Then last year was learning how to play linebacker. I think now that he is a linebacker, right? The safety talk, and he's a linebacker, learning how to pass rush. He's a very physical player, and a lot of things he does on the field is going to make us better too. But being able to rush an outside will linebacker at various times of a game is important, and so we're going to we're going to rely on him to be able to do that.
Apparently, according to here yesterday, Billy Shouts has made pretty good progress. But when you saw him getting carted off and at Florida State in the days after, I mean, did you think it could be tough getting him back?
Well, whenever you break a bone in your leg, I mean, it's always a tough situation. But Billy is he's one of the toughest young men that I know, and actually just saw him the other day before I left. I keep kidding him. I'm like, "What are you? You 99.89% ready to go?" He said, "Coach, by the start of camp, I'll be 100%." And from what I've heard, what he's told me about how he's working out, how he's running in the heat, lifting, power clean, squats, he's doing everything that everybody else is doing now. And I think he's another player that was going to help us that that wasn't on the radar until the Florida State game. But now his leadership, his ability, he's a very good pass rusher, plays the run well, will help us again address some of the needs back there on the back end.
Mike, going back to kind of what he was talking about with Eli Harold, and you guys have had some success recruiting that defensive line position, but as young guys, how hard is it to get those young guys in? What's the biggest challenge they face in terms of earning time and being able to play for you guys?
Dave, I think the biggest challenge for any young lineman is the fact that most college offensive linemen are 4th, 5th year seniors, and just the physical part of it, the physical strength and who they have to go against. And a guy like Eli, we're not going to ask him to play a 7 technique or a 6 technique and stop the run. We're going to try to utilize his abilities. I mean, the guy ran a 4.5, or he would probably argue, say, "Coach, I ran a 4.49 or whatever it was." But to use that kind of speed and athleticism coming off the edge in the right time in the right places. So whenever the guys up front are battling each other, it's a game of push and pull. It's a game of strength, and that's where your strength coach, having a guy for a while, helps them. So kind of look back and try to maybe put the brakes on an incoming defensive lineman that particularly plays inside. You may be able to get away with it with a guy on the outside. You move him outside and just use his athleticism to run up the field and make things happen. He kind of falls into that category.
Greer also mentioned Romero as a guy who, I guess, impressed him with his commitment this spring, coming back in May. What kind of role do you see him having?
I think he came in the same time David came in mid-year a couple of years ago, year and a half ago. He's another one that has great potential to be a guy that can be a starter. He can be a significant player for us. He played standing up in high school, and then last year he put his hand down on the ground. Now we have him standing back up again. And, it's just not a matter of just go get him, go sick him. It's a matter of sometimes of understanding pass coverage and things like that. But he's a very talented player, and, he again it'll be a close watch on the other linebacker position. You got Steve Greer, Henry Coley, you got Leroy, and then that one more linebacker slot. You got Drake Romero. You got even some incoming freshmen that might have a chance to provide some depth and playing time in that in there.
I would imagine that one of those incoming freshmen is Kwani Moore. Is he a guy that you're thinking can be a contributor from day one?
He's one, Brad, that we're going to put in a position to evaluate early to see. As I said, lineman a little suspect in terms of playing early, unless you're a defensive end on the outside can speed rush. Linebacker in space, a guy that can run. He also played running back, for his team, Norfolk Christian Academy. But we'll see early what he can do. And the biggest thing you don't want to do is just take a bunch of stuff and put it on their plate, and hoping that they can handle the academic expectations as well as being a freshman playing in college. Mm-hmm. So we'll get all those questions answered basically as we're going along here, because again, for a lot of them, I think of the 23, 24 that we have, I want to evaluate them early to see what they can do, what they're capable of, and if they can help us. We're not at the point now we can say the luxury of redshirting guys. We're going to need help from some of these incoming freshmen, and then hopefully as we move on down the road here, we start being able to redshirt guys, like you'd like to.